This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(1:15). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Romesh Piris and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The construction of the Ruwanpura Expressway begins today. Relief for war hero dependents from April 2021. All schools, preschools, universities, Pirivenas and tuition classes will remain closed until further notice. 12 Grama Nirdhari divisions in 3 districts isolated with immediate effect. The number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country on the rise. The Speaker to announce Port City Bill ruling on May 18th. Suwasariya ambulance service plays a significant role in the COVID-19 disease management of the country. International news. The US sends reinforcements for Afghan withdrawal. Sports, it's cricket. Indian Premier League 2021 news. English counties offer to host postponed IPL games. The construction of the first phase of the Ruwanpura Expressway between Kahatuduwa to Ingiriya officially got underway this morning. The inauguration ceremony was held under the patronage of the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The Prime Minister's media division said the Premier attended the event via video technology. The length of the Ruwanpura Expressway is 24.3 kilometers. The Ruwanpura Expressway, which is to begin at the Kahatuduwa interchange, will direct traffic through Ingiriya and Ratnapura to Palmadulla. The total length of the project is 73.9 kilometers and is to be completed in 3 stages. The project is estimated to cost around 54.7 billion rupees. The President's media division said that steps will be taken to provide relief to the dependents of the war heroes who have died or are disabled due to terrorist activities with the approval of the Cabinet from April 2021. The 2 Cabinet memoranda submitted by the President with 7 proposals to provide relief to dependents of war heroes was approved by the Cabinet at its meeting held on April 27th. The Defence Ministry has taken action to pay the relevant allowances from May 2021 in accordance with the President's order to pay the proposed relief from the date of approval. All schools, preschools, universities and tuition classes, Pirivenas, will remain closed until further notice. Speaking to the media, Minister of Education G.L. Piris said, considering the prevailing situation, they have decided not to reopen schools and higher education institutions. He said, although the government is keen to reopen schools and commence academic activities, they cannot endanger the lives of students. The Education Minister noted that at least a 3-day notice will be given before the commencement of schools. He said, however, the country's COVID-19 situation must improve in order for them to consider reopening of schools. The National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 Outbreak announced that 4 Grama Nirdhari divisions, Piliyandala in the Colombo district, and 3 Grama Nirdhari divisions in the Kalutara district, and 5 Grama Nirdhari divisions in Kadawatha in Gampaha district have been isolated with immediate effect. They said Halpotha, Kasbaba East, Markandra West and Newungama Grama Nirdhari divisions in Piliyandala, Polhena, Pimbura and Yatiyana West in Kalutara, and Surya Paluwa South and North, Aldenia East, Pahala Karagahamuna North, Ihala Karagahamuna North in Kadawatha have been isolated from this morning. The number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country has risen to 119,424 following the detection of 1,895 patients yesterday. Among yesterday's cases, 1,851 were linked to the New Year COVID-19 cluster. 44 persons who arrived in the country recently from overseas also tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday. The epidemiology unit of the Ministry of Health said 17,805 persons are currently receiving treatment for coronavirus at several facilities across the country. Yesterday, 810 persons who recovered from COVID-19 were discharged from the hospitals, raising the number of recoveries in the country to 100,885. 1,052 suspected COVID-19 cases are also under medical observation at present. 11 COVID-19 deaths have been confirmed, raising Sri Lanka's coronavirus death toll to 745. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Receive early cash advances and an unmatchable bonus at maturity from Sri Lanka Insurance Early Cash.
The Speaker, Mahindayapa Abewardena, received Supreme Court's determination on the Colombo Port City Economic Commission draft bill yesterday. The Speaker's media unit said the decision of the Supreme Court will be presented to the Parliament on May 18 by the Speaker Mahindayapa Abewardena. The decision regarding the debate on the Colombo Port City Economic Commission draft bill will be taken up at the forthcoming Committee on Parliamentary Business meeting. The Committee on Parliamentary Business, chaired by Speaker Mahindayapa Abewardena, held on May 4th, decided not to hold the debate on the Colombo Port City Economic Commission bill as scheduled on May 5th, as the Parliament had not received the determination of the Supreme Court. The Sri Lanka Customs media spokesman Sudatta Silva said arrangements have been made to send 230 metric tons of unrefined coconut oil later today. The said consignment was ordered to be re-exported following the revelation it contains carcinogen aflatoxin. The Sri Lanka Customs said the vessel Ever Ethic is set to arrive in Sri Lanka this evening to transport the said stock of unrefined oil. Previously, steps were taken by the Sri Lanka Customs to re-export 105 metric tons of unrefined coconut oil to their original destination, Malaysia. Accordingly, 12 containers of contaminated oil will be re-exported this evening. That was local news.
Finished? You have 1 more hour to write the exam.
Yes, sir. Always early.
Receive early cash advances and an unmatchable bonus at maturity from Sri Lanka Insurance Early Cash.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The Primary Health Services says the Suasarya ambulance service plays a significant role in the COVID-19 disease management of the country. The service has been identified as frontline defense of COVID-19 control mission of the country. With 297 ambulances and a full staff of 1,399 drivers and staff, the call center receives more than 5,300 telephone calls on the emergency number 1990 per day. The ambulance service is a completely free service to the public. That was our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
In Watchlight this afternoon, the Director General of Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, issued guidelines for the public to follow after undergoing a PCR test. Accordingly, the public have been advised to self-isolate until they receive the test results, which may take 2 to 3 days. The public have also been advised to wear a face mask even at home when self-isolating after a PCR test if there are others at home. That came to you in Watchlight. And on to world news, the headlines. The US sends reinforcements for Afghan withdrawal. Developed nations divided over vaccine rights. Pfizer, BioNTech to donate vaccines for Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics. The United States has deployed extra military resources to protect American and coalition forces withdrawing from Afghanistan. Heavy bombers and fighter jets will be deployed to safeguard troops and civilian contractors. The US and NATO have had a presence in Afghanistan for almost 20 years. US President Joe Biden has set the withdrawal deadline for 11th of September, the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks that sparked the war. But the withdrawal comes amid escalating violence, with Afghan security forces on high alert for reprisal attacks. France has joined the United States in calling for a temporary waiver of intellectual property protections for coronavirus vaccines, while other developed countries oppose such a move. French President Emmanuel Macron said he was absolutely in favor of such a waiver. He said vaccines should be available to people around the world. It was a turnaround from Macron's cautious stance after the US expressed its support for such a waiver. Meanwhile, the spokesperson for Germany said the protection of intellectual property is a source of innovation and must remain so in the future. The International Olympic Committee says the US pharmaceutical firm Pfizer and its German partner BioNTech will donate coronavirus vaccine doses for participants in this year's Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics. The IOC said that it has signed a memorandum of understanding with the two companies. It said doses will be distributed through National Olympic and Paralympic committees. The IOC said that following the conversation, the Japanese government had a meeting with the IOC to realize the plan. Back to the headlines of the world news. The US sends reinforcements for Afghan withdrawal. Developed nations divided over vaccine rights. Pfizer, BioNTech to donate vaccines for Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics. And that was world news. On to development news. The Tourism Minister Prasanna Rantunga says it has been decided to waive landing and parking fees for international airline flights to Mattala International Airport for 2 years. The minister said that the release of these fees was a strategy to attract more people and international airlines to the Mattala International Airport in the south. That was development news.
Sports News is brought to you by...
When Aya bought a motorbike, he bought 2 helmets. So sweet of him. I'm sure the other one is for me.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchies Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchies Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
Sports news, it's cricket. A group of countries have written to the England and Wales Cricket Board about the possibility of hosting the remainder of the Indian Premier League. The 2020 tournament was suspended on Tuesday after several players tested positive for the coronavirus. There is no suggestion that the Board of Control for Cricket in India is looking for a new venue. That was sports news.
My wife always sets a full lunch table, even if it's just the two of us. She always expects people to drop by, like maybe the army.
In whatever we do, we Sri Lankans are always thinking of others. When we get Munchies Super Cream Crackers, they're not just for ourselves. Munchies Super Cream Cracker. Super kiyanne nikan neve.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The Colombo Stock Exchange has performed exceptionally well in the past 12 months, with the all-share price index appreciating more than 55% and the S&P SL20 index appreciating more than 44%. In 2021, the average daily turnover of the CSC stands at 4.8 billion rupees as against 1.8 billion rupees in 2020. Even though the market has performed exceptionally well, foreign investor contribution to the total market turnover is not substantial due to the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic throughout the world. As an initial step, the SEC, along with the Foreign Ministry and the CSE, has commenced a series of virtual meetings to educate staff to Sri Lankan missions overseas on the growth potential and investment opportunities available in the capital market of Sri Lanka. That was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
It was revealed that the Parliament's Committee on Public Finance that with the new tax revision, 98% of the tax revenue target of 575.5 million rupees given by the Finance Ministry to the Inland Revenue Department for the first 3 months of this year has been met. The Committee on Public Finance, chaired by MP Anura Priyadarshini Yapa, while appreciating the Inland Revenue Department for its achievement of its targets in the face of a global crisis, also emphasized that the Inland Revenue Department should increase the number of taxpayers in Sri Lanka. That was Economic News.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Meteorological Department forecast showers or thunder showers to occur over most parts of the island during the evening or night. It further predicts heavy rainfalls above 100 millimeters in the Sabragamua, Central, Western, Ua and the Northwestern provinces and in the Gaul and Matra districts. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporarily localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. That was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Back to the headlines of this news broadcast. The construction of the Ruanpura Expressway begins today. Relief for war hero dependents from April 2021. All schools, preschools, universities, pirivenas and tuition classes will remain closed until further notice. 12 Grama-Niladhari divisions in 3 districts isolated with immediate effect. The number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country on the rise. The Speaker to announce Port City Bill ruling on May 18th. Suas Harrier Ambulance Service plays a significant role in the COVID-19 disease management of the country. International news, the US sends reinforcements for Afghan withdrawal. Sports cricket, Indian Premier League 2021 news, English counties offer to host postponed IPL games. And that concludes this news broadcast.